Oh my goodness. Hey y'all. So my settings on my camera hopefully are not gonna have this looking crazy, but hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Adrena Monet. Welcome to anybody who is new to my channel. Welcome back to anybody who is not new and you know who I am and that type of thing. You rock with me and all that. First of all, can we talk about my camera? I recently got the Canon G7X. I got the Canon G7X, I don't know, like a week and a half ago, and I'm really obsessed with this camera. I just put some gloss on so I don't look too crusty in these streets, so hopefully working it out and that type of thing. But before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out previous videos if you've not seen them already because you're new or you haven't had time to catch up or whatever. Subscribe to my channel, like this video if you love what I'm sharing and you can relate and took any wisdom from the fact or what have you. Subscribe, like, share, and comment below because you guys know I like to talk back to you and talk with you and that type of thing. So yeah, subscribe, like, comment, and share, and let's go ahead and get into it. But back to my camera, you guys, I have not had a professional camera ever, so got some things to learn slowly but surely. But this is really exciting for me. And of course, you guys know I don't even like being on camera if I'm not modeling. Like, I don't like talking on camera. Okay, that's just not my forte or whatever. So maybe this will help me like it more. I don't know. So as you can tell from the conversation, we're going to be talking about living a status quo life and how I personally have always known I wasn't cut out for a status quo, basic, average, selfish, or whatever kind of life. And that's pretty much it. I have some notes written down. I had a conversation with a friend last week that also kind of sparked the fact that I'm like, okay, girl, I was telling my friend Michael last week, I was like, fam, I have a video that I'm like a couple weeks behind on doing because I've delayed it. I'm like, you know, do I have anything to really say on the matter? I guess I do. Let me go ahead and get it done. And so he and I were talking about some things last week relative to being African and the African continent and whatnot. And so our conversation from last week also just further confirmed the fact that, you know, this video has a place or whatever on the whole YouTube space. And so yeah, status quo, I mean, there's different definitions depending on the context of what status quo is being defined as and used within conversation. So status quo in somebody's urban dictionary means a person who follows the herd. He or she does what everyone else does, nothing more, nothing less. They have no ambition for anything. They have no passion or drive to accomplish anything extraordinary or special. Or for me, I would think they have no ambition or desire or concern about building a legacy and leaving behind a legacy like with their lives. And so they're not concerned about being purpose driven and that type of thing. Once they're getting by in life and their Instagram looks good and looks comparable to the next person's Instagram or whatever else, or once their YouTube channel is comparable to whoever's YouTube channel, then, you know, they feel like they're doing good in life or whatever. But it's always very dangerous. It's always very dangerous to compare anything about your life to somebody else's life or whatever, especially on social, because oftentimes our social media timelines and things are just a highlight reel or whatever it's called, and that type of thing. And so yeah, it could be very dangerous, just mentally and otherwise, to compare your life to the next person's or try to keep up with, you know, people's lifestyles or so-called lifestyles. You guys know I got conversations for days about people's fraudulent lifestyles. So yeah, but yes, that's what status quo means. And so the title of the video is about how I've always known that I was never cut out for a status quo life. So I don't even share this stuff often. What was I gonna say? Okay, so I come from, like, you know, I don't know how to even say it. So I've got doctors in my family and whatever else, like no big deal, not bragging at all, whatever. And so I was never gonna be anybody's doctor, nurse, or anything else because I've always gone against the grain. I've always gone against the grain of that career path and whatever else. That was never going to be me personally. And so you know, I've got my corporate experience. I've also got quite a bit of entrepreneur experience as well. And hold on one second, y'all, because I have notes on my Chromebook. So trying to keep it together and make sure all this flows or whatever. But yeah, so I was never, I never aspired to be anybody's doctor or whatever else. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I barely got through the SATs. I barely got through the SATs to even get into Georgia State. You know, I had a really good, I had like a 3.7 high school GPA. So I knew that would get me into Georgia State University, but like my SAT score was trash. I fell asleep all 3 times I took it because it's a stupid exam to this day still. And it just is what it is. And so how much more was I gonna be able to pass the MCAT? Like, what am I gonna do with the MCAT? A waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of everything. And so I've always had like a heart for purpose and philanthropy and humanitarian type work, whatever. Just, I don't know, because honestly, not really anybody on, it doesn't seem like it runs in the genes, I'll put it like that. So I don't even know how I have a heart for philanthropy and humanitarian type efforts and missions and stuff like that, but that's just kind of how I am. So I've always known that with certain things I've had access to and certain clients I've had experience working with, and then clients I'll be working with in the future, I've always known that like the financial wealth dynamic of it all is not just meant for me to walk around and have Fendi and Fashion Nova and whatever else materialistic things that people buy. You know, you guys know I'm not materialistic, so I can't keep up with y'all. But like, it's not the financial wealth of it all, especially. It's not meant for me to have, you know, like 800 pairs of shoes and 4 closets worth of clothes and stuff like that. That's just not even me. So I've always known like financial increase and wealth or whatever is for like the cause of giving back and helping to establish some things, etc., etc. And so yeah, that's pretty much that. Like I said, I don't know who I got that from, but you know, it's always good to, I guess, be set apart. And like I tell many of you guys who talk to me off of YouTube and that type of thing, we talk on like a daily basis. You guys know that lost my train of thought. You guys know, you guys, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. You guys know, shoot, I lost my train of thought for real, you guys. Anyway, I lost my train of thought, like my mind went blank. But yeah, you guys know that I'm like all about living on purpose and stuff like that. I lost my train of, that's not what I was gonna say. That's a bummer. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But yeah, so we discussed being materialistic and stuff like that. Like cars and clothes and stuff like that are cool, I guess. But if that's all you're living for, like, you're already empty on the inside, and that's gonna manifest, you know, essentially on the outside as well, and like with your interactions with people, in your relationships with other people or lack thereof and stuff. So yeah, to be consumed by all of that, and for your identity, there we go, for your identity to be in like your Range Rover, Beamer, and X, Y, and Z, it's like, you know, there's more to life than that type of thing. And so, of course, you guys know that we are African over here, and we love our continent and whatnot. And those of us who, man, you know, especially those of us who have lived in the West and lost so many decades of our lives living in the West, those of us who have lost that time off our lives and that type of thing, and we're trying to recoup what we can and make the best of our latter days, you know, we are, those of us who are serious and genuine about the fact, we are, you know, putting resources together financially, professionally, and otherwise, to go and, you know, be a part of solutions and solution building that's still needed in various parts of the African continent. So that's part of my personal mission and all of that. Don't want to say too much anyways, just because I kind of really do move like in silence or whatever, and I don't like speaking too prematurely on things, but that really is my heart. So so yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, like I've always had a heart of giving back. I mean, I've been the coordinator of like canned food drives and stuff like that. Man, I've given away so much stuff over the years. I've volunteered in so many capacities and stuff like that. So that's like really at the core of who I am. And of course, you know, fine-tuning that and being very discerning about what to give to, who not to, and that type of thing, and what not to give to. But yeah, so that is pretty much that. I don't want to be rambling, you guys. If I can even get my mouse and see Let me see. If I can find what I need. Trying to go back to the conversation with my friends. Oh yeah, so my friend Michael, we were talking last week about how, you know, somebody close to him said that he's like rebellious essentially or what have you. And so I was telling him, I was like, you know, you're not rebellious and that type of thing. You weren't cut out to live a status quo life. And you know, I'm a black sheep as well in my family. So me being the black sheep my whole life, I get it. That's never gonna not be the case. Your girl's a black sheep, and so I wear that, you know, quite proudly or whatever, and I rock with that. I don't apologize for being the black sheep on both sides of the family. So that's pretty much it. I've been talking for about 11 minutes almost. But yeah, so shout out to you, Michael. I'm assuming you're gonna see this video at some point. You know, we had a good conversation last week about some things you were dealing with and that type of thing. So hopefully I encouraged you and that type of thing. But yeah, so, and plus living a status quo life is so boring. Like keeping up with Instagram materialistically and other that's gotta be, I can't relate. I can't relate. So, because my mind and just my intentions in life and stuff like that, I don't function like that. So I know a lot of people are doing it, so to each their own and all that. But yeah, so shout out to those of us who were not cut out to live a status quo life. Like I said, from a young age, I've always just had like a huge heart for living on purpose, actually executing, you know, living on purpose and stuff like that. Through like nonprofits I've worked with and that type of thing. Through kids' lives I've impacted from kids I've worked with, because I love me some kids. And then even like kids that have special needs and stuff like that. So I've done like a variety of things as far as, yeah, just making a difference in people's lives. That's just me at my core. So hopefully I've not been rambling, you guys. This video was mainly just to get that little bit of wisdom and perspective out, I guess. And also to test out the test out the camera and all that. So let me know what you guys think about this video and this conversation. When I have more gathered thoughts, there might be a part 2 or like a more updated conversation about the fact. But this is all I have for now, just being honest. So thank you so much for tuning into the conversation. And you guys know I'm traveling next week to Ghana. So I have one short video coming up after this week. I plan on going live before I travel next Thursday. And then I also have my pack with me video that'll be coming up. I'll do my pack with me before I leave next Thursday. So that'll be coming up sometime next week, my pack with me video. So you can see what I'm packing, how I'm packing and all that. But besides all that we have discussed, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video as well for anyone who maybe is struggling with the whole social media space, stuff like that. You know, trying to have high numbers on social media because they think it means X, Y, and Z, which it can to a degree, but not really. I'd rather have 6 figures, 7 figures in my bank account than have, you know, and not knocking people that actually have like lots of subscribers or whatever, because some people have earned what they've earned. But like people that identify and like their identity is in having 6 figures or 7 figures of followers and stuff, I need 6 figures, 7 figures in the bank. That's what I need. So that's where my focus is at, and that type of thing. So I think I've said enough. Again, my name is Adrena Monet. Thank you for checking me out and tuning in. And until next time, I'm signing off. Love y'all.